Name for themselves, and a name for Richmond out there. GWAR is currently on tour, and anyway, we're here though to see the residuals of where they've been. And anyway, it all goes back to the milk bottle building, and I can remember I had some friends and people who were hanging out at that milk bottle building, and people said, "Oh, don't go there. Who knows what goes on in the milk bottle building?" Well, Don and Mike could tell you what happened in the milk bottle building. Let's have a big hand for Don and Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, children, welcome to this evening's presentation, a glorious retrospective of the theatrical and filmic genius of the intergalactic rock band GWAR. My name is Dr. Michael Bishop, and today I stand before you an internationally renowned musicologist, the most prominent authority on the subject at hand, but indeed the heady, frothy, often knavish, foolhardy, and intoxicated days of my youth. Then I was indeed BeefCake the Mighty. An artist in the fullest and richest sense of the word. A writer, producer, poet, musician, name, muse of Richmond's only truly important cultural export, GWAR. With me here is the noteworthy auteur, Drakulich, LCSW, the mastermind behind much of the works under review this evening. Sorry, it's just so touching to be here on stage with you again, Don. Once again, with such a stalwart servant of the cinematic arts as Don, writer, editor, fabricator, director, cinematographer, sound technician, you wore many hats. This evening, Donald and I will exhibit an overview of GWAR's considerable oeuvre, taking into consideration the themes that animated and continue to make up the creative life of GWAR. These include the epic story of the band's creation, a Homeric narrative that, like the Odyssey or Women's Leaves of Grass, calls into being a nation. Yea, beneath this tale of warriors from outer space banished to Earth, discovered and exploited by an unscrupulous Svengali who turns them above all into rock stars, but even above all Americans. Burrowing beneath the story of this band emerges the floating, polished turds of despair at the heart of the American experience. A story capturing the essence of sleaze, crassness, violence, gore, and privileged hedonism at the heart of our collective consciousness. We will see how GWAR makes meaning and means making. I think we have that good. In any case, from there we will consider the band's relationship to its legions of pathetic, pimply-faced, perpetually virginal followers known as bohabs. These are the fans of GWAR, and without them the band would not exist. Indeed, the fans of GWAR are often the subject of the group's performances, films, and songs, as we shall see. We will also see the band appearing in the media, on television shows, alongside, for instance, the surgically reconstructed but nevertheless corpse-like Joan Rivers. Rising from local cable access to the very pinnacle of the entertainment world, GWAR has garnered attention, even accolades from the mainstream media, but has managed to still be misunderstood. Well, let's see here, which brings us to a segment we shall also watch covering the controversy surrounding the band. And we will see GWAR running afoul of religious figures and orders of morality and censorship. Most notably, when the lead singer was arrested for simulating sex and eating feces in the fetid redneck shithole of Charlotte, North Carolina. His penis, which he maintained was a fish, was confiscated by authorities with typical postmodern self-awareness. GWAR managed to make these events part of their show. Indeed, conflict with religion and confrontation with authority are at the very heart of the mythos of GWAR. For its part, the band is represented, and here tonight, we will linger over its most repulsive and perpetually puerile pee-pee-caca representations of love and sex. It is perhaps, well, there is no doubt really, that their penchant for the perverse, an obsession with vulgar and disturbing images, a nearly pathological propensity for pushing, stretching the bounds of bad taste. Surely this has prevented the band from ever achieving its staggering commercial potential. And indeed, the crassest of commercialism is central to GWAR's message, such as it is. Thus, in another segment, we consider the group's desperate attempts to sell out, as well as the ways the band has incorporated issues of corporatism and artistic compromise into the storylines of its films and performances. Politics. For GWAR, there is only politics in the lowest of all arenas, the wrestling ring. We will see GWAR challenge political figures and monsters of all ilk. And finally, here tonight, we have the distinct privilege to at last consider the true genius of GWAR by examining carefully the group's complex and tenuous relationship to art. High culture, low culture. The band explores this dichotomy at every turn. It is, after all, an artistic venture that hates art. Though GWAR is clearly rooted in the avant-garde, its distaste for the pretentiousness of the form is palpable. And I've talked far too long. Come, as we watch GWAR do the artistic limbo. How low can they go?
Me and Chuck were working on the ultimate science fiction cult film, and we wanted to have as much sex and weird violence and all that kind of stuff as possible. And at the same time, Dave over here was in a sick, weird band called Death Piggy, and they were doing weird theatrical stuff, and we knew that we wanted to have cool music in the movie projects and stuff that we were working on, so we teamed up together, and both Death Piggy and the original ideas for the movie that we had were sort of eclipsed by GWAR.
What you get is, I think, some very bright guys who have read entirely too many Marvel comics rather than enough Greeks in Shakespeare.
I am from the planet Scumdogia, in the center of the universe, far past Uranus. Now,
Yes.
we were banished to the human... We were banished to this insignificant mudball planet Earth
It's making me sick, this planet.
because we were eating too many chili cheese burritos and generally making a mess of things. So we were banished here to serve eternal penance until the day that we were recalled to the stars to do whatever, you know, happens
But it's
then.
not much of a prison because obviously on this planet we can defy gravity and we're having fun, you know,
Yes, we can blow on our thumbs and grow to 300 feet in the air.
and hang on the Empire State Building.
You probably have already done that on Sally Jesse, but
That razor-sharp wit of yours, Joe.
And from GWAR, we have Odorous Urungus and their manager, Sleazy P. Martini, who I might mention is the first time we've ever had a manager of a band on the show. Is there a reason why you find it important to be on here with a band?
You know, I'm kind of a cross between all the great managers of all time, you know, Brian Epstein of the Beatles, Malcolm McLaren of the Sex Pistols, all people that are very important. John Gotti's another one. Who did he manage? I can't remember, but he's a good friend of mine anyways, and I'm really glad to be here.
I had to go to the ends of the earth to find GWAR. Take it easy. I was just looking for a payphone.
Death to the divider. Nothing personal.
You do the same, I'm sure.
Wait! But what of the Master's prophecy? For whomever shall awaken GWAR is A-OK!
Excellent point, Ballsack.
Blow? There you go. How about you? Yeah, sure you do. There you go. Blow. Sleazy's the name. Glad to meet you.
What do we do?
A line. With Sleazy,